Hello everyone. Welcome back to Madrid Pulse. You got source of latest news, events, and everything happens in heart of Spain. We bring you the latest breaking news, in-depth transfer updates, and exclusive stories from the heart of Real Madrid and the world of football. Our mission is to keep fans informed, engaged, and connected with every key development surrounding their favorite players and clubs. Rodrygo says yes to Manchester City. The Brazilian winger wants to play under the orders of Pep Guardiola, who requested his signing to strengthen his offense. Rodrygo wants to move to Manchester City. The Brazilian winger has made the decision to leave Real Madrid in this summer transfer window and is willing to play for Pep Guardiola's team. According to Fabrizio Romano, Manchester City has Rodrygo as the main target to strengthen their attack, following Jack Grealish's departure to Everton and the imminent sale of Savinho to Tottenham Hotspur. Rodrygo's decision is influenced by the limited playing time he would have under Xabi Alonso, who will trust more in Franco Mastantuono on the right flank to support Vinicius and Kylian Mbappé. Although there is no formal offer on the table yet, the player has already approved the Citizens project. The next step will be direct negotiations between the clubs, with Real Madrid valuing the attacker at 100 million. At 24 years old, Rodrygo is coming off a standout season, 14 goals and 11 assists across all competitions. His stats reflect not only goals but also a significant creative ability, a trait highly valued by Guardiola to complement stars like Erling Haaland, Phil Foden, and Bernardo Silva. The Brazilian's versatility would allow City to switch systems, whether in his usual right-wing position or as a second striker, enhancing the English champion's offensive repertoire. Rodrygo's decision is also influenced by his ambition to arrive in top form for the 2026 World Cup. Brazil's coach, Carlo Ancelotti, reportedly advised him to seek a team where he can get regular playing time, warning that his place in the starting 11 could be at risk if he doesn't accumulate the necessary minutes. A similar situation is experienced by the young Endrick, another Brazilian talent prioritizing playing time to establish himself in the national team. If the deal goes through, Rodrygo would join an elite attack featuring Haaland, Marmush, Doku, Foden, Silva, Oscar Bob, and the recently arrived Ryan Cherki. With this squad, Manchester City would continue to have one of the most complete and threatening attacks in Europe. Guardiola, who has always sought wingers capable of combining width and verticality, sees in the Brazilian an opportunity to strategically maintain the team's competitiveness across all competitions. The outcome now depends on both clubs' ability to come to an agreement. Real Madrid seeks a lucrative sale to fund future acquisitions, while Manchester City is exploring options to finalize the deal without compromising their financial stability. For Rodrygo, joining the Citizens team will be a real sporting challenge, as he will play in the best league in the world and, at the same time, have the opportunity to showcase his full potential in an ideal environment. His partnership with Erling Haaland could lead Manchester City to victory in the Premier League and the UEFA Champions League. Real Madrid manager Xabi Alonso is facing a midfield headache just days before the start of the new La Liga season. With their league debut against Osasuna at the Santiago Bernabeu only a week away, the situation has not improved. In fact, the latest updates have only made things more complicated. The most recent blow concerns star midfielder Jude Bellingham, who is already one of the most influential players in the squad, despite being in Madrid for just over a year. On Monday, it was confirmed that Eduardo Camavinga will be sidelined for at least the next 2 weeks due to a muscle injury. This absence means the French international will almost certainly miss both the opening match against Osasuna and the following game against Real Oviedo. His injury adds to an already worrying list of absentees in the middle of the pitch, and Bellingham's situation remains the most concerning. Bellingham underwent shoulder surgery shortly after the Club World Cup earlier this year. The decision came after more than 18 months of playing through constant pain. The England international had first dislocated his shoulder in late November 2023 and had been wearing a protective brace during matches ever since. At the time, he admitted it was finally the right moment to resolve the problem once and for all, rather than continuing to risk further damage. Initially, medical experts estimated a recovery period of 10 to 12 weeks. That timeline would have seen him return in early to mid-October, coinciding nicely with the international break, and potentially giving him a chance to regain fitness before Madrid's first major fixtures of the season. However, fresh reports from Diario AS suggest that Bellingham's return will take longer than anticipated. The club is prioritizing a full, robust recovery to ensure he can play at his absolute best without the lingering discomfort that plagued him last season. According to the same report, Bellingham is now expected back only at the end of October. The delay is partly because he is taking extra time to rebuild muscle strength in his shoulder and upper body. Recently, the 21-year-old spent some time in Jamaica to recover away from the public eye and media pressure, but he will soon return to Madrid to continue his rehabilitation under the club's medical and fitness staff. If the updated timeline is accurate, it would have major implications for Real Madrid's early campaign. Bellingham would almost certainly miss the first Madrid derby of the season against Atletico, and could even be absent for the first El Clásico of the year against Barcelona, scheduled for the weekend of October 26. Losing him for such high-profile fixtures would be a huge blow, not only because of his quality but also due to the energy, creativity, and goals he brings from midfield. As things stand, Alonso's natural midfield options are limited to Arda Güler, Fede Valverde, Dani Ceballos, and Aurelien Tchouameni. While all are talented players, none can replicate Bellingham's unique combination of attacking instinct and physical presence. Camavinga will return sooner than Bellingham, but his absence in the opening weeks forces the manager to explore different solutions. One of the more surprising experiments during preseason has been the use of David Alaba in midfield. Primarily known as a center-back, Alaba has the passing range, composure, and tactical awareness to operate in the middle of the park, and his versatility has always been one of his strengths. While this could prove to be a temporary fix, it highlights the lack of depth Alonso currently faces. Behind the scenes, there is a sense that the club would prefer to bring in another midfielder before the transfer window closes. The combination of injuries and the heavy demands of a long season in La Liga, the Champions League, and domestic cups means relying on a thin core could become risky very quickly. The opening weeks of the campaign will now be a test not just of Real Madrid's squad depth, but also of Alonso's adaptability as a coach. Without two of his most dynamic midfielders, he will need to find creative ways to keep Madrid competitive and avoid dropping early points in the title race. The hope, of course, is that when Bellingham finally returns, he will be fully fit, pain-free, and ready to make the kind of impact that could define the season.